This math cast is intended for third grade students. The learning objective is recognize and show equivalent fractions have the same size but not always the same shape. Created by Monisha Shropshire. Some of the vocabulary for this math cast are unit fractions, which are fractions in between whole numbers with their numerator being 1 and the denominator representing the number of units the whole has been divided. Fractions. Fractions are used to describe one or more parts of an object or quantity that is divided into pieces once the unit fraction of the whole has been established. Equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are said to be equivalent if both represent the same number, regardless of shape. First, let's look at unit fractions. Whenever we look at all three pictures, they all represent a whole that has been divided into 8 equal parts. The unit fractions for all three pictures is 1/8. Now let's look at the shaded portion of each picture. The shaded portion for each picture is 4 squares out of the 8. This is represented by writing 4/8. All three, although different in shape, represent the unit fraction 1/8 with 4 out of the 8 being shaded. So the fraction for all three of these would be 4/8. An equation used for equivalent fractions is A over B will equal A over B multiplied by 2 will equal A over B multiplied by 3 will equal A over B multiplied by 4 and will equal A over B multiplied by 5 and so on and so forth because equivalent fractions are infinite. For example, let's look at 1/2. If we multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2, we would get 2/4. If we multiply both by 3, we would get 3/6. If we multiply both by 4, we would get 4/8. If we multiply both by 5, we would get 5/10. All of these are equivalent to 1/2. We can take a further look at this example by using pictures. Here, we have taken all 5 circles and divided them according to their fractions. You can see that all 5 pictures, although different in shape, are the same in size. They all represent 1/2. The final part of this math cast on equivalent fractions will be the exit ticket. This exit ticket contains 3 different parts. Part 1. And has 6 pieces of paper. 2 squares are orange. Looking at the picture, write the fraction. Looking at the picture, there are 2 orange squares out of all 6. The fraction will be written 2/6. Part 2. Draw at least 2 different ways this picture can be represented. The solution to show 2 different ways to represent 2/6 would be to change the shape. One way is to use rectangles. Here we have 3 rectangles. We are showing that there's 1 orange rectangle out of all 3. The fraction to represent this picture would be 1/3. Another way is to turn the shapes into triangles. Here we are showing that there are 4 triangles that are shaded out of all 12. The fraction for this picture would be 4/12. Part 3 of the exit ticket is to give the unit fraction and overall fraction for all three different shapes. The unit fraction for all three pictures is 1 out of 5. All of them are showing a whole which is divided into 5 equal parts. The fraction for all three pictures is 3 over 5. All three are showing 3 shaded squares out of the 5 equal parts. This concludes my math class on showing that equivalent fractions have the same size but not always the same shape. Thanks for watching.